How's everybody doing today? We're gonna get ready to start. Welcome back. Just real quick, today we got Angela Douglas, Public Affairs. She's gonna talk about social media. I know a lot of you guys talk on Nextdoor and so on. You'll get more information from her. Just to let you know, we can do something a little special today. We're gonna ask HPD have joined with Ring. You guys ever heard of the Ring camera, Ring doorbell?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're gonna give you some Ring doorbell if you want some, but there's some little criteria. For example, you gotta have internet. You gotta be able to log into, it's real easy, HPD, you text this code I'm gonna give you. Then after that, they'll give you a sign in and so on. Once you sign in, you register in, and I think you pay like $30 a year. And what it does, it gives HPD and the community a chance to look at, say they break into somebody's house, somebody would be alerted the house around the neighborhood and so on. So it's just a safer environment. It's free. I think it costs around $200 for a Ring camera. So since you're here with PIP, we're gonna give you guys the first privilege of it. If you want one, just come and see me and Charmaine after this, and we'll gladly give you more information, sign you up for it, and give you a ring by the time you get out tonight.
Good.
Any questions on that? Number two, we're just going to talk about, I'm going to give you guys crime stat. You guys, of course, you want to see what's going on in the community. Before I do that, we got Mike Laster, our city councilor, District J, back there. Mike, thanks a lot. We got a lot of people from Sharpstown Civic Association and all our regulars here. So you'll probably see new face. I'm going to let Joan say, hey, you new people stand up and so on. I won't
put that on me.
but you do it so good, Joan. Okay, let's look at the stats real quick. Here is our stats. And, well, here's all the arrests Midwest did in the month of January. So, total of 201 arrests. So it tells you like Midwest Division, our officers are out there constantly, this is arrests and so on. What's the most usually we get? DWI. Look at that, 55 arrests for this month.
Good God.
So, you remember one time we had 81. So the commander's real big on DWI here, getting people off the road because they have second door effect. It affects family and so on.
Just in Midwest?
This is all Midwest, 18
Does the
district.
assault include?
What's that?
Does the assault
The
include?
assault, that's the arrest for the assault and so on.
But
too.
does it include like domestic?
Yes. Any questions on that? Now I'm going to give you a stats overall. Yes, sir.
Are they not posting these on the website anymore? I looked today, the last one was June.
Okay.
We used to get these mailed to us.
I tell you what.
The website is a month behind, I think.
Okay. I'll make sure whoever signs in today, we'll send it to you by tomorrow. Is that okay? Now, I'll take responsibility for that. I didn't know they sent it out. So Joe Vasquez is retiring in May. So I got a new PIP officer, Officer Chan. So he'll be working hand in hand with Joan and the community and so on. I'll be here too, but okay. Let's look at the stats between. Let's go to page 8. Now, have you seen the stat on everything? Everything actually went down except for one thing. Well, one big thing is burglary building. So that's a dramatic change. You're talking about something 100%, big decrease. Remember, burglary of burglary motor vehicle was the biggest issue. Well, Command Bashir was real active. We did crime prevention. We went there to give BMD cards. Someone was on the media, and look how much it dropped, 367 to 235. You're talking about almost 36% different. Wow. And this is an 18 district now. So now we got to address the burglary building. Usually they break into at nighttime. But the good news about that, we just actually caught a guy. We linked him to 22 cases. One guy, 22 cases on burglary building. Actually, it happened in the Chinatown corridor. So we actually stacked charges on him with our boss, and now he's got a no bond. What happened, he broke in, and he got caught February the 5th. And they bonded him out for $1,500, which is $150. He came out there and committed 5 more. And
How'd you get that
and
$150?
I took it personal because it's right in front of my storefront. So that's not good. So we found out, I looked at videotape with the help of all our officers, and he got caught again. So we told the judge, hey, he committed offense, he's out on bond on a felony, and he committed a felony, so they stacked charges right now. He's got 2 no bond, one $15,000, one $5,000. So he won't be going out for a while, so, Chinatown area is pretty happy, and that affects the Sharpstown area too. So any questions on this? Okay, that's all I have right now. I'm gonna turn over to Commander Bashir. You guys know who Commander Bashir is?
Yes.
Okay. Sir?
Before Angela starts speaking, I'm just gonna talk just briefly about a couple of things. Last week, I attended the Major City Chief Association Conference in Washington DC. So Chief Acevedo, a couple of our executives, and about 4 commanders. We went there to attend the conference, and it was really something amazing, eye-opening, because you have the chiefs from all the big cities, like for example, Chicago, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Seattle, Kansas City, Miami, all over the United States. At this conference, the director of FBI, he spoke, Homeland Security. We had some of the Whitaker from Department of Justice, and then we had Attorney General. We had a lot of people come and speak on what are different issues they're experiencing, and how they can help the law enforcement and making our country safer. We also got an opportunity to meet President Trump. He called our delegates on the stage, and that was something, just an amazing honor to meet the President of the United States. I did shake his hand. He does have big hands.
Oh,
He does have big hands, so I verified that. Yeah, he actually is very tall. But the reason was because he wanted to recognize HPD for the life-saving efforts that we were able to do during Hurricane Harvey, and he didn't forget about that. And the reason why we were a success is because HPD, and plus with the community support, we were able to save this city from which could have been a horrible tragedy. And we were out there sharing our resources, sharing information, saving those people from those flooded zones. So that's something I just wanted to bring back and share with you. Also, the other issues that actually in that meeting, all the major cities, they started discussing what were some of the impact that they were having, or the major issues in their departments. And actually it was very interesting to see what was going on. I remember Chicago, they had not a huge problem, but a significant problem, officers committing suicide. They had 7 officers commit suicide within a certain period of time. And that's something for us to be aware of. That we keep track and make sure that our officers are well and fit for duty, and if they do experience some problems, we are there for them. Some cities, they have major issues with the community because the community don't trust them, or they have lack of trust, and that's something that here in Houston, we are an exception. The one thing that was brought up in the conference was that Houston and our relationships are awesome with the Houston Police Department and the community, because of PIP meetings like this and how we share information through different formats, how whatever information we have, we're up in the front, we regularly stay in contact with emails. Because of that, we have built a very strong relationship, and that's something some of the other cities are craving for that. And I just want to say thank you for coming to these PIP meetings, because when you come here, it does make a difference to our officers, and also how we work together to make our city, our community safer. So that's just main key high points I just want to bring it to your attention, and I just want to say thank you for your support. And then I'll give it to Angela.
No, Joan. Then I'll-
Joan, okay.
Yeah. While Joan is coming up, there's a lady later on after Angela talks about the social media. She just want to talk about the building the complete community design for 2020 or 2019. I'll let her talk after Joan after the social media. So Joan,
Are you introducing the new PIP office?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, why don't you do that
Okay.
and then, so that they know.
Come on, Alex. Well, Alex is gonna work hand in hand with Joan, so she's gonna tell me how well he does with a couple of months. He's on a 3-month probation. That's our new PIP officer. He's gonna deal also with the TAPS program, the Citizen on Patrol, and so on. Right now, we're doing a on-the-job training. It's like a right seat, left seat ride. So we just throw everything at him, go at it. We got Officer Vasquez, who's retiring. Officer Vole is pretty much mentoring how to, tell them about Joan, you know, what she likes, don't like, and so on. Just different stuff that we need to know. So, that's Alfred Chan. Do you want to say something?
I'm probably going to be learning a lot from you guys, so if you guys have anything to teach me, I'm willing to learn. This is my first one. I'll be here every month. Be looking forward to working with everyone. And I hope you guys come every month so I can, you know, see y'all.
Let's give him a hand.
Thank you.
Roger.
Sir.
Hi, everyone. I've changed seating, I'm not down there, I'm over here from now on, how's that? First of all, let me welcome all of you this evening, and do we have any new people first time? We're gonna have some fun with you.
Tell us about yourself.
Okay, over here, if you would just let us know, you can stand so they can see you, and you can tell us where your name and what subdivision or area that you're from.
Hi guys, we are from this area, just about 2 blocks away.
Okay.
And we are coming in because the Sussex, which is the 2 twin towers, the brown ones over there.
Mm-hmm.
Officer Hope asked us to go
Are you
in and
Mr.
show-
and Mrs. or are you a Mr. and a Mrs.?
Yes.
Okay.
They have properties there. Anyway, so they
My
asked us to
name
come
is
in.
Gabriela Torre, and his name is Arturo.
So we'll
Welcome.
hopefully meet you every month here.
Okay, anyone else? I saw some other hands. Okay, you're next.
I'm Byron Weiner, Byron with an M. I live in Sharpstown Country Club, Terrace Section 3, and I am a new director of the Civic Association this year.
Well, welcome. Good. You're gonna have fun. Anybody else?
Joan, you had one on the end.
Mike
Oh,
Reckles.
okay.
Live in St. George Place, Chimney Rock and Richmond. I'm also a member of the Citizens Police Academy, Class 58, and I am on the Civic Association Board.
Welcome.
Hi,
Yes,
good
ma'am.
evening, everyone. My name is Sandra Rodriguez, and I'm a candidate for Houston City Council District J. I am a 34-year resident of the Southwest Houston area and a native Houstonian. I've been in public service for 20 years, so I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Good, welcome. Anyone else?
I wanted to do.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead. After you.
So I'm Tanveer and I do not live in this area, but I see the invitations coming about PIP meeting every month. And every month I try to come and for work reasons, for other reasons I could not. So this was the time I.
And you made it this evening. Good, great, okay. Yes, sir.
I'm also going to introduce you to my new administrative and also DRT Lieutenant Catherine Carey. I used to be a rookie officer. I used to work with her. Back in South Guest and fun.
Okay, I'm Lieutenant Secretary. I am over DRT, so basically I'll be working with you guys, and I'm looking forward to working with you even more because I understand how important our relationships with the community are to our job. So looking forward to working with you.
We also welcome you. Thank you.
She's my boss, it'd be nice.
Okay. How many people do we have from Council District J? Just raise your hand. Okay, you have 2. How
Live in J?
about F?
F.
Oh, we didn't understand the question. Okay, and G? Okay. We had a super neighborhood meeting on Monday. It's at the storefront. And you are invited if you haven't been. And I will tell you, Councilman Lester over there was one of the speakers. We always have the 3 council districts speak. It was a really super meeting and very informative. You missed a good part because you had to leave early. It was great. We had 1 at-large and 2 council people there. And you are certainly welcome. Get on the list. And Barb is the secretary, Barb Kelly over
And this
here.
time I'll try not to send you to a massage parlor.
Yes. One lady
little
got a little
typo.
mixed up and wound up at
At a massage spa. And I said, welcome to
Go
the
back,
district.
okay. Okay, the other thing, on March 12th is, that's a Tuesday at 7 p.m. and it's at 1602 State Street, and that is the citywide PIP. You meet the command staff, and I really would like to see more of you. I would suspect that this meeting in March is going to be a very crowded meeting. We just have that feeling. So you are certainly welcome, and every third Wednesday except July and August and December, we meet here. So if something happens and the notice doesn't get out, we are here, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are there any questions? Good.
When
Okay.
is, just one question.
Yes.
Your meeting at the storefront with the council, is that a regular thing?
No, it's once a quarter. We used to
Once a
do,
quarter.
we used to do monthly,
We
right?
used to do monthly, but it's once
It
a
was too
quarter.
much, yeah.
And the notification goes out to presidents
Of
of,
your homeowners.
of the homeowners, the
Right.
Civic Club. What is the name of your, I don't think yours is on, are
It's
they in?
not, and our president is not that active, so I would love to get a notice about it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't bring any
pass it down
paper,
the
I'll
bar.
get you.
There you go. Okay.
Tell them she's gonna
I'm
test.
finito.
Okay, Angela, I want to introduce you to Angela. She's going to talk about social media.
Thank you, ladies. So, as there is, so before I let the chief speak, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. In 3 days, I will celebrate the 21st anniversary of starting the police academy. So yeah, woo, very exciting. I actually worked with Lieutenant and Commander Bashir at Fondren on patrol. That was my first assignment. And I was the PIP coordinator for the Gulfston area also. I've also worked in planning, I've worked in criminal intelligence, and now I'm in public affairs and media relations, and I do social media for the department. So what I'm going to talk about is how our department uses social media, and a little bit of, Facebook, Twitter, all of that. I'm going to get into all of that, but first, I want to let Chief Acevedo talk a little bit about the media and social media. Hopefully this works.
Completely changed our media protocols. I really believe that, the media is going to tell a story. Now, as an organization, you can sit back and let them tell a story for you, or you can make yourselves available as a partner with the media to tell a story and help frame a story. We will continue to enhance our ability to work with the media. That, quite frankly, I'm a strong proponent of the First Amendment, believe in the First Amendment. I think the First Amendment is one of the most important amendments in this Constitution, and we consider you guys and ladies to be our full-time partners in terms of keeping the community informed. I think an informed community is a community that's going to, through transparency, going to trust their police department, is going to engage their police department, is going to partner with the police department, and quite frankly, is going to join us in keeping themselves and each other, their neighbors, and these cops that we lead safe.
So I've been doing social media. In June, it's going to be 6 years. Chief Acevedo has about 2.5 years now with us, and he has completely changed the way we do social media and the way we handle the media. Obviously, in his own words, you heard his philosophy of it, and we're kind of living it through kind of what's going on right now in the city. But when it comes to social media, I want to see a show of hands. Who here has an active Facebook account that they use on a regular basis? Okay, all right. So who here has an active Twitter account they use on a regular basis? Goodness, okay. Who here is on Nextdoor? There we go. Okay. So what these numbers are, these are our followers, HPD's followers on these social media channels. To give you a perspective, this right here is about 500,000, give or take. Usually I do this presentation with one of our public information officers who is in the media, and he talks about shares. I mean, whenever the local news and how many eyeballs they get seeing their news stories. He says right now, they get about a 2 share. Each share is about 36,000. So that's only about 72,000 people watching the traditional news at night. Whereas we have 500,000 people, and I just updated these numbers, more than 500,000 people who are watching what we are putting out on our social media channels. And we have a responsibility to make sure that we are being transparent and that we're putting out accurate information. A lot of times we kind of in the office go back and forth because sometimes the media will put out, they want to be first. They want to be the first one to tweet it, the first one to break the news. I don't care if we're first. I only care if we put out as accurate information as we can put out, as timely as we can put out. And we use our social media channels to do that. So why is social media and why is it important that we put our message out on social media? These graphics here talk a little bit about the users and the fact that people are getting their news from social media. A lot of times that's where people are hearing about events going on first. If you can see there, 67% of Facebook users say that they get their news from Facebook. However, this is what I found interesting. Whereas you have 2/3 of people getting information, getting their news from social media, 57% think it's largely inaccurate. That's really interesting, isn't it? So they'll go to one source, maybe another source, another source. That's why my philosophy is we have to try to put out as accurate information as we can. We need the public to trust us. Commander Bashir was talking about our relationship with the public. That's how we can build that trust with the public, is putting out transparent and accurate information. So when Chief Acevedo came on as our chief, he changed our philosophy whenever we do any type of interviews. It used to be that our civilian PIOs would be the ones that would stand up and there was an incident, a SWAT scene, they would brief the media. Now it is uniforms. You might see Commander Bashir doing a briefing if there was something happening here in Midwest. A lot of times it is Chief Acevedo, Chief Finner, Chief Slinkard, but he believes that the public is going to trust us. We want to build that trust back and forth, and it's through the uniform, because that's how we're recognized, is with the uniform. So if you do follow us on Twitter, one thing you will see is anytime we have a critical incident, we just had one today. We had a SWAT scene today at our South Central area. What we'll do is, and this is Commander Bainbridge, he's actually commander over SWAT. It'll be him or his lieutenant will give a briefing, either if it's a very long SWAT scene, they'll give an update, or at the conclusion of the SWAT scene. And what we do is we carry it live on our Twitter through Periscope. The reason why we do that is, again, people want their news quickly, and a lot of people are going to social media to get their news. So we will have any incident. This is Commander Bellamy at a homicide that happened a couple days ago. Up here, that is traffic enforcement. We did this was last summer. It was click it or ticket. And so we also use our social media channels to put out those critical messages to remind people to use their seatbelts. But this is all on our Twitter, this is on Periscope. One of my jobs as social media coordinator is I'm constantly checking to see what is going on social media. A lot of the news media will do these push notifications about what's going on. And if anything is about us, I want to make sure that it's accurate. And if it isn't, and we've had to do it before, we'll call and say, no, that's not what happened, or that's not what we're getting. Because this happens. They will push out information, and then they call us. Hey, we heard that there was a kidnapping at XYZ location. But meanwhile, they've tweeted out already that there's been a kidnapping. That actually did happen. One news station did that. And it was not a kidnapping. It actually ended up being nothing. So that's our job, is to check it and make sure the information is accurate. Rumor control. Social media is great. I mean, like I said, we get information out, but sometimes some of these stories get legs of their own and the rumors start flying. So this is one of our public affairs vehicles. As you can see, the back side looks like a taxi, the front looks like a police car. So the rumor was that we were tricking people and pulling them over to give them tickets. We were tricking people that it's a taxi, and then once they flew by us doing 90 miles an hour, we pulled them over and gave them a ticket.
Pretty good idea.
So we saw a tweet or two about this, no big deal, but then it just started getting shared over and over again. So what we did through our Twitter is we responded, we quote tweeted this tweet and said, no, this is part of our Choose Your Ride campaign, which is exactly what it is, to remind people about the dangers of drinking and driving. So we were able to not only dispel this rumor, but get our message out there about drinking and driving. And we thank the user for helping us spread awareness about intoxicated driving. Yeah.
Interesting, you got more likes than he did.
Right. Well, you know why? Is because Channel 13 and Channel 2 picked up this story. So they were calling us for is this real? Are y'all really doing this? And we're like, no, we're going to put it out on Twitter. So, but you're right. We got a lot of likes and a lot of shares. So the community was helping us share and helping us to dispel this inaccurate information. So during Harvey, one of the big rumors was that Border Patrol was down at the George R. Brown and was scooping up people. That was the rumor. That was the rumor. And this person had this vehicle, so obviously that's why Border Patrol was there. So we just flat out had to say, because you know what? Harvey, Commander Bashir talked about Harvey, and even President Trump mentioned how we worked together during Harvey, and to think that somebody wouldn't come and get help because they were afraid based on false information, that's just wrong. So it was our job to put this information, this accurate information out. The Border Patrol tweeted about it, also tweeted to him. And that's who we quote tweeted, said, stop it, just stop spreading this false information. We had agreements with not only the federal, our federal partners, but also other state partners. We had officers here from Grapevine and from San Antonio and Austin helping us. So again, that's how we use our social media channels, is to kind of dispel these rumors. So we have a two-pronged approach to social media. I talked a little bit, that's Chief Jones giving a briefing there at Periscope, but we also like to have a little fun with it. We like to humanize the badge a bit. So this was last year on National Pizza Day, and I'm sitting there going, what would be really funny is having a patrol car put some pizzas as wheels and put it up there and see what happens. It was actually, and you know what, I took the screenshot a while back, it's actually got a lot more likes than that. But it's just, people really just want that humanization of police officers, and that's what I try to do. That's kind of my community outreach part of social media, just trying to be a little lighthearted with it. So when we have something big like Super Bowl was 2 years ago, can you believe that? Oh my goodness. So when we have something big like Super Bowl, we like to put together a plan on how we're going to use our social media to get information out. So, of course, we're putting out our messaging, what we call our messaging. Chief Acevedo did a video, see something, say something. It's very short because it's only 40 seconds, because we were talking earlier about how the attention spans on social media are like this. You got to be quick. You got to be quick and you got to hit the point. So we did that in video, and people love videos. They love to see videos because, I don't know, they don't want to read. I don't know. So our other message that we put out was about B&Bs. I know y'all were talking about B&Bs. Well, it's a huge problem. Any officer who ever does the B&B report cards will tell you they'll go by and see purses and computers and iPads and phones just sitting there on the seat. So we're trying to put that message out saying, hey, don't do that. You just don't leave your valuables in there. But again, we were also doing some of that humanizing the badge that I was talking about. We had officers with these stickers, the badges, going around to all the kids in the area, and they were coming down to the George R. Brown, handing out stickers, taking pictures. It was a very positive experience. Those officers waiting for the Falcons to show up at IAH. I was able to get that picture. I myself was in a picture. The puppy bowl. I got to play with puppies. How great is that? But again, this goes to the message about humanizing the badge and using social media to do that. So I talked about information dissemination, and I think y'all remember this was kind of a big deal during Super Bowl. Tom Brady's missing jersey, right? Yeah. So it was such a big deal. This was an international story whenever this happened. Everyone was just, I don't know, riveted by it. So at the conclusion of the investigation, this was in March. This was March 20th, 2017. Again, that Periscope I talked about, putting this live on our Twitter, we broadcasted it, and 92,000 views on our Periscope about this case. Because what happens is when we do a briefing like this, we'll get CNN, New York Times, Daily Mail, the UK, calling after the fact. Hey, we need a quote from Chief Acevedo about that. I was like, go to Periscope. It's all there. It's all there, and it saves time. And a lot of the news outlets will actually take our video and they will broadcast our video, which is fine as long as they give us credit. It's all fine. But again, so we don't have to keep repeating and doing 20 interviews on something. We do it one time, and you could still go to our Twitter account and it's still there. You can still see that video. This was another big during Super Bowl. Another big case was Michael Bennett, a football player who was indicted by a grand jury here in Harris County. Again, 33,000 views whenever I took that screenshot. So again, just putting that information out in the most efficient way possible. So which platform? People love our dogs and our horses. They love our dogs and our horses, obviously. So when we have something like this, we like to share this type of information with the community. And we will share it. And it's not just on Twitter. We've been kind of Twitter heavy because if y'all didn't know, Chief Acevedo really loves Twitter. He really loves Twitter. So we tend to, he is the chief, so we tend to use the platform that he favors more. But we will put a lot of our community outreach stuff also on Facebook also. But anyway, so when we had this happen with Billy Ray, we put the picture up, and as you can see, 1,700 likes and 200 retweets. And that, again, that's when I took that screenshot. It was a while back. So on Facebook, one of the things that we do is we go Facebook Live, and in this particular case, it was with our Youth Police Advisory Council. They meet quarterly, and this is with Chief Acevedo, and I'll set up microphones, and I'll set up my iPad, and we do the whole Q&A session, and we broadcast it live on our Facebook. They cover topics like human trafficking, bullying, sexting, teen dating violence. They will ask some really intelligent, tough questions. Not only Chief Acevedo, but we also have some subject matter experts who are there at the meeting. And all of this is broadcast live. And at the time, there was 5,700 views on this. Who could be watching this that could benefit? Maybe is not in the meeting, but can benefit from the dialogue that's going on in this meeting, which is why, for me, it's very important to put this up on our social media channels. This one is always so popular. When the chiefs address the new cadet classes, he'll go out there the Monday morning, 8 o'clock, and he'll address the brand new cadets. 40,000 views. 40,000 views. That's a pretty darn good recruiting tool to see. Social media allows us to kind of peel back the curtain a little bit and maybe let people see a little bit of the unknown. If you've never seen what the inside of a cadet classroom looks like, there you go. That's exactly what it looks like. And that's one thing we can do with social media. Oh yeah, 40,000 views. Okay, let me see if this works. Haven't talked much about Instagram, but so Officer Vela sent me this video, and it says all that on there. He is training, or he's going through the course in Grand Prairie at a skills competition. And I posted this on our Instagram, and oh my goodness, it got such a positive response. back, this was April of last year, had 3,800 views, and we only, and what, like 15,000 followers on Instagram? But again, this is something that you wouldn't normally be able to see. Yeah, and so I had to have some fun with it, right? Leaf blower, distraction, extra points. Had to have a little fun with it. I mean, but you know, that's the good thing about social media. Social media doesn't have to be perfect. The videos don't have to be perfect. It's almost as like they shouldn't be, because it's more of a real view. It's a behind the scenes, real, raw view of our department and our organization. So yeah, this was a really great video. And he just sent it to me to my phone, and I put it up, and this is history. Oh, sorry. Okay. So Instagram, I haven't talked much about Instagram, but we do have an active Instagram, and Instagram is very picture heavy. The audience for Instagram is a lot younger. They're teenagers who are using Instagram. So when I get pictures or I get content for social media, I have to think which platform is the best platform for what I'm going to put up. Who's my audience? Who's going to benefit the most from this? We talked about Twitter and putting kind of like real-time crime stuff up on Twitter. Instagram's more for our kind of like friendlier, pretty picture type of stuff, kind of like this. And again, this was sent to us in public affairs, and Mom's okay with me putting it up on Instagram, and there it is. And it's just a really, really positive, great community image. And we gotta have fun with it, right?
I saw that.
Yeah, right? The news media picked this up, which was great. I mean, come on, the stereotype, National Donut Day, right? I mean, come on. So, this was actually our North Patrol, Commander Harris, and so, he was my sergeant way back in the day, and so he's like, oh, that's a great idea. We'll get night shift to do that. And there's actually a couple more pictures that go with this. Yeah, but that's T-Rex right there. Down there. And there's another shot where they're both like, he and his handler are looking in the window. I mean, it's just so cute. But it got so many comments and 1,200 likes. Again, it goes back to that what I was talking about and humanizing the badge. But yeah, this was we wanted to make sure we put it up early in the morning on National Donut Day because well, the media's looking for content, and we're going to give it to them. We're going to give them this positive content to put out there. I mean, Long Beach. I mean, we're getting it from just everywhere. And so, again, this was like a really, really fun thing to do. And I'm just so glad these officers were, willing to play and kind of be a little silly with it, It's great. Okay, so I talked about Nextdoor, right? And I had a lot of hands go up, which is really, really great. We launched with Nextdoor. I can't believe it's been already 5 years, almost 6 years with Nextdoor. Sounds like we have really good participation of Nextdoor here. Couple of things about Nextdoor is we do have every single patrol station has active members of Nextdoor agency accounts. So, and it's usually the community service officer or the DRT officer and sergeant and lieutenant who have access to Nextdoor. Big thing that a lot of people don't know is we as officers that have agency accounts cannot see your conversations. So as you're having your group conversations about your lost dogs or this happened or this suspicious vehicle, we can't see it. And that's not a decision of ours, that's a decision of Nextdoor. So if you have any information like that you think that your community service officers need to see, take a screenshot or forward it to them and let them know. That's why it's really important for me anyway that we have all the stations on Nextdoor. And from my understanding and from kind of the feedback I'm getting is that it's working really well that way. Because I'm downtown and when I post, you might see me, I'm the Officer Douglas that posts on Nextdoor citywide. So, and that's 250,000 people I'm posting to. So if there's a problem in Midwest, I can forward it to Commander Bashir, but it'll go a lot quicker if you forward it to your community service officer if you have a particular issue in this area. And again, I think y'all know this, we have a lot of users, but Nextdoor verifies all the addresses and where you live. That's not us, they do that. This was a great post that Sergeant Ortiz out of South Central posted. And again, what I like about Nextdoor is that your area can use it as you see fit. So this particular, this dog, look, found wandering, and you know what, I meant to follow up to find out what happened, but, you know, and I know that there was, I think it was South Central, where they had 2 dogs, and they found the owners using Nextdoor. So that's a great tool, because you can target the area.
A German Shepherd went to Ranchester.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was
yeah.
lost.
Yeah, exactly. So our robbery division is on Nextdoor now, and they're posting a lot of cases through Crime Stoppers YouTube videos. So you might see this, and he's really good about posting just to the area where the incident happened. So you're not going to get blasted with stuff that happened in Clear Lake or Kingwood. But this is something to look out for. If you see something from the robbery division, that's what, and that just recently started like 3 weeks ago. But again, so social media is our way to tell our story. This was the shooting on Memorial back in 2016. So John Cannon, you see published by John Cannon, he's one of our public information officers. He was on that scene, and he just took these pictures and posted them, because this is the first officer who arrived. This is what happened. He was not hit. Surprisingly, he was not hit. But 2.5 million people were reached by this post, because it got so many shares and so many comments. So, I mean, that's for us, like I said, that's what we use to tell our story. So I talked about the good. We're kind of going through a little bit of the bad right now as far as our social media with what's going on in the city. You may not see us post as much right now, and it's kind of because people tend to get very brave behind a keyboard, and they are saying things to us right now they probably wouldn't say to our face, but that's fine. So now I'm going to talk about the ugly when it comes to social media, because there is some ugly, unfortunately. Social media scams. Social media scams, they're out there. Just like we're getting information out, bad guys are using social media to try to scam you. Those who are on Facebook. If you ever had a Facebook friend and you're friends with them, and all of a sudden you get another friend request, and it looks like the exact same account. So that means that account's been duplicated. Someone's hacked their account. And what they're going to try to do is start sending you messages. And this happened to me. They're going to claim that they're out of the country and they're at the consulate and they need money. Or my aunt's account got duplicated, and she was sending me messages claiming, and she said, oh, the message said, if you apply at this link, you're going to get government money. Yeah, okay, whatever. And any other money scam you could possibly think of. It's just a way to reach out to you. And then the fact that they're duplicating an account of someone you know, they think you are going to let your guard down a little bit. So if that ever happens, check with that person and let them know that their account has been duplicated. You ever seen these online anywhere? Media runs stories about them all the time. You'll see 90% off at Amazon or Kroger or HEB or something. If it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true. So just keep an eye on that. This is something that, I get these phone calls a lot too. But actually I was working one time, and this happened door to door. And I know I'm talking about social media, but where someone comes up and says, you donate books for a children's library at a hospital? Well, who doesn't want to donate books to a children's library at a hospital, right? But you give them your $200 check, and they walk off, and you never see any books or see that anything was ever donated. If the little voice in your head goes, something's not right about this, listen to it. Listen to it. It happens a lot during natural disasters, too. We saw a lot during Harvey. We saw so much during Harvey. Trying to verify FEMA workers, trying to verify, contractors, those kinds of things. So all that happens.
You mean if I give some money to kids on the street down on San Felipe to send our team to nationals, they might not get to nationals?
It may absolutely be a scam. 100%, you're right. I put this PowerPoint together Monday, and I was talking about, those emails you get, and it looks so legit. It could be it might look like something from Amazon or Apple, I got one today. I got one today that looked like it was from Apple. And it told me that my account was going to be suspended if I didn't click on this link and log in and fix my payment method. So these look like real emails. I mean, they look like legitimate emails. But one thing you can do to check for sure, first of all, don't click that. That is not an Amazon email. They hide it to look like this, right? Because auto-confirm, okay, that looks legitimate, but this is the real email. So if you have any reservations about an email you get, call them. Call Apple, or call Amazon, or call whomever you get, the Netflix, or whomever it is. Don't ever click on a link through an email, because they're not gonna solicit you through email like that.
Don't call the number on the email.
Yeah.
Look up the real.
Yeah, don't call the number on the email. That's a good point.
I did that once.
Don't do that. Just Google. Google is your friend. And then, you know, on the phone. And the reason why I put phone scams in here is a lot of times on social media we'll put our phone number on there, maybe, or our information might be out there. Maybe you sign up for something and they ask for a phone number. And I still have a landline because that's the number I put on everything, and I never answer it. It's always some type of telemarketer. But they'll call and they'll say it's IRS, and if you don't pay them $5,000 and the police are gonna come get you. No, we're not. No, we're not. IRS doesn't call and solicit. You miss jury duty, and if you don't pay a fee, then they're gonna come and they're gonna come arrest you. No. No, 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 no. But it's also important to share this information with others who may fall victim to this type of scam. So, and this one, wow.
I've heard about it.
Have y'all heard about this one? So this is what happens. Again, remember I said you put your number down when you sign up for something? They will call and they'll say, hi, Grandma, Grandpa, do you know who this is? And of course, your grandchildren, right? You're like, oh, it's Sarah? Yeah, this is Sarah, and I'm in trouble, and I need money, and I need you to send me money. Who's not going to want to help their grandchild, right? Well, that's why we have cell phones and other phones. That's whenever you call and make sure and verify. Because just the idea that you're doubting your grandchild probably makes you stop, right? If your grandchild is in danger, but that's what they're preying on. They are preying on your kindness and your love for your grandchildren. So please, 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 please verify before you send anybody. And if they say, oh, but it has to be in Apple gift cards, or it has to be in, yeah.
Go to Walmart and do this.
Exactly. Exactly. Those are all scams. Scams, scams, scams. These are our social media. Does anybody have any questions about anything to do with HPD or social media? These are all of our social media channels. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Okay, before we close out, I promised a lady, Miss Tanvir, I gave her 5 minutes to talk about our complete community. She's for this area real quick. She's going to talk about what they're going to do to design for Houston 2019.
So, as Sergeant mentioned, City of Houston has this initiative called Complete Communities, and they want to bring up certain communities in Houston to more progressed and to more complete. And some of the communities that are identified are Acres Home, Gulfton, near North Side, 2nd Ward, 3rd Ward, and so on. It doesn't matter which part of these communities are. As a Houston, we have to progress, right? And Design for Houston is one of the events that would use design thinking process to solve issues like creative problem solving of complete communities. So what is design thinking, or how it's going to be used for complete communities? Design thinking is a creative problem solving process wherein they use this process to solve complex issues like poverty or bigger problems. And City of Houston has approached us to do this 2-day event, which will involve professionals, strategists who would be able to identify different aspects of this complete communities, And we are requesting residents to take part in it and to share the problems or issues or what are the good or bad of the communities that they are part of it. So we wanted to invite all of the residents in following areas to take part in the event.
And this complete community, actually it's the mayor's complete community. There's
Yes.
5 area that he targets. It's usually trouble areas and so on. And she'll have the flyers for here afterward. Feel free to grab it. So it's actually the mayor's program. They're just, they pick different people to help bring it out to the community and so on.
Thank you.
Any questions for, we're gonna have officers stand by if you have any issue with your community, or, you guys know, I get hundreds of email, just different stuff, and we try as quick as we can to reply and fix the problem. So we'll be standing by, feel free to ask, any one of our Officer Chow said he's bored, so you get him. Any questions at all before I turn it over to Joan?
Actually, I forgot one
Okay,
thing.
Joan?
On the follow-up of the scams that you just saw, the program, you have an answer here, it says, do you know your rights? And the program at Citywide is going to be victim awareness and know what your rights are in case you do have problems with some of the scams and other concerns. That's number 1. And please sign in that we have a complete record of everybody here this evening, your email address or phone number so that you are notified for the next meeting and a reminder. Thank you.
So March 20th will be our next PIP here, and also before, let's speak, just thank you Sharpstown Civic Association for bringing the food today. We have different sponsors every month. You can't do it without the community helping out, so thanks a lot, Charmaine and the group from Sharpstown. Yes, ma'am.
We have somebody from the Explorer program that has a quick announcement.
Yeah, and I'm talking. Just real quick, and I'm gonna email you, so make sure, one, you guys, I promise you that I was gonna get you guys out the PIP stats. So make sure your email's legibly, so I'll have the new PIP officer type it all up and email everybody out the stats tomorrow. Just, as you know, probably in the media, it affects one of the student from a school, parents just got killed recently at, I think at McDonald's. I'll give you more information. They got a GoMeFund and more information on it, and I'll get more from her. She's one of our Explorer, a friend of our from their school. So I'll email everybody. It's up to you as volunteer. I'm gonna send it out to everybody. So. And I didn't want to talk too much about it because I don't know that much information, and they don't have the link to it right now. So I just want to give you a heads up on it. I'll send it out with our PIP information. It's helping out. I don't know they're a single family or one parents are on. I'll give you more information as I find out. So that's all I have. Thank you for your time, and also the ring. Remember, back here we're going to give out rings, so feel free to come. Yes.
I was just going to mention something else. The Sharpstown is large. We have a very hard time getting people to come to meetings of any kind. They're all just too busy. So we decided to video this meeting, and we do our monthly meetings also, and put them on our website, and we find that people are watching them from their homes. Who knew? So we're going to make this available, and any other neighborhoods that would like to link to it from your websites, or let your neighbors know that it'll be available after it's edited down a little bit. We'll just see how it goes, and if people are interested and are watching it, we think this information needs to be all over the neighborhood, and this room just won't hold all of us. So we'll see what happens.
Thank you.